Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Since Hollow Knight news happened, well, not Hollow Knight news, but Silksong news happened today, me and Cars Videos 95 are going to analyze the sprite sheet I have pulled up here. As you can see, there's a bunch of different sprites. Like, a lot of different sprites. Bit too much, maybe. But yeah. Alright, so the first few sprites we have here are pretty conclusive of Hornet sitting on a bench. That makes sense. Then we have the map. We haven't actually seen Hornet holding a map ever, which is kind of cool. Or at least I don't think. I have to check up on that one, but yeah. But we're going to be doing the interesting sprites here, because a lot of these are just fairly boring. Not gonna lie. So the first interesting sprite we have is this little like weird ring thing above one of the Hornet sprites. I honestly have no clue what this can be. Maybe like the rings that Chakra gives, maybe. But yeah, not entirely sure because there are different like looking rings that Hornet has in the sprite sheet too that look more like Chakra's rings. Maybe that's the item for Chakra's rings. Not sure. But speaking of which, we have Hornet with Chakra's rings. Now, this is quite interesting, I feel like, because what do you think it could mean, Cars Videos 95? Because
I don't know.
It has been hinted to that I think it's been hinted to in the Edge magazine that basically what is it? Chakra might be a boss, so maybe once you defeat Chakra, she gives you this as a reward. Next we have Hornet with 4 legs. I think this is the like backdash ability in Silksong that was seen in the I think first trailer, because she did crawl around on 4 legs there. But yeah, all right. So now let's move on to what should we do? What should we do here? There's so many sprites. There's so many. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, we have Hornet playing the needle. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I think that the Hornet playing the needle will work in a similar way to like dream nailing, maybe, where it like shows people's thoughts or maybe just feelings. Oh yeah, there's this black little splotch tentacle thing, but I'll get back to that later. But now there's a bunch of stuff we have. Most of these are very uninteresting, but there's one where Hornet there's the sprite where Hornet ascends in the trailer, the Xbox trailer, which I think is kind of cool. Yeah. All right. Just looking over it. Yeah, see, there's a lot of what seem to be Chakra's rings all over the place, along with these tentacles. Don't know what that could be, but we have Hornet without the cloak. This looks cursed. Hornet without the cloak looks cursed. Not gonna lie, but I remember in the demo that the item could be like the cloak was an item, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so I think this is maybe a part of an animation where it replaces its cloak with an upgraded cloak, maybe. Kind of like how the Mothwing cloak works, but with animation instead. Other than that, I have no idea what it could be. You got any thoughts on that, Cars?
Oh. No.
All right. Oh yeah. There's this one. This one is of Hornet wrapped in tentacles. I have no idea what this is. Because there's I think another sprite down here. Yeah, there's another sprite down here where the tentacles are actively wrapping her. But like, I have just no clue what this could be. Simply for the fact,
I kind of think that was creepy.
yeah, I think it's creepy too. But considering we see like just the separated tentacles around, makes me think it's maybe an ability that gives her protection. Like maybe it's like a shield of some sort.
Maybe.
Might be a shield. I'm not sure on that one though. That one's very weird. Alright, then we have, I think, the last. Oh no, we have two more. Alright, so this one is Hornet with what seem to be the equivalent of Monarch wings in this game. Right here. I think it will just work in the same way as Monarch wings. Maybe it's a glide ability. I don't know. That may be a bit too far fetched though, in my opinion. We have miscellaneous like silk threads from her needle. The silk, the actual needle itself is cut off in most of the sprites, so I'm thinking that this is probably a Hornet's hand. I feel like just grabbing the needle because they don't need to render that really. And then we have what I think is the coolest and most interesting one, the purple dive attack, whatever it is. Not sure if it's attack, but yeah, the like when purple's wrapped around in like lightning. Yeah. Now, I was thinking that this was like the equivalent of Crystal Heart. What do you think it is? What do you think it is? Cuz there could be like multiple things here. Like it could be maybe an attack, an ability.
Yeah, I think it's an ability.
That would make sense because the lightning seems to have like threads that look like the silk. So maybe like she gets electrified at some point and can like I think it's maybe a combination of all three. Like she gets this ability that can turn her silk into electricity. Then she can propel forward and deal extra damage to enemies, and also dash farther, maybe, and faster. I think it could be all three, but we still aren't sure about this one. Next we have the Hornet with like Hornet doing a Mary Poppins because she looks to be like floating down with the cloak. I think we've seen this thing in action before in the Seth fight gif that was shown in the riddles. We've seen this in action, and basically what it is it just slows down. I think it just slows down falling time. I think that's how it works, or maybe it boosts you up. Because in the Seth gif, we weren't entirely sure what it did. Because Hornet was still falling down, but we weren't sure if it like boosts up at some point. But it could be both. But yeah, I think that's all the interesting sprites we have to cover. Because yeah, most of them are just like basic sprites, as you can see here. Some are like drill attacks, maybe, but yeah. And this is only a portion of the sprites, if I remember correctly. So there's still a lot more. But yeah, I think that's all we need to cover for now, and see you guys next video. Bye.